now return
Two.
106.7 WJFK. Big O and Dukes.
106.7 WJFK, Big O and Duke Show. We're back, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Big O.
I'm excited. I'm Chad Dukes. Oscar, we've been covering this pretty heavy. We all have the game. We all love the game. Made $500 million its first week. Biggest video game of all time. Video games fastest growing entertainment industry in the world. And Niko Bellic is the greatest character in the history of video games.
He is your Iron Man.
He is. He's my number one seed, and we're joined right now by the guy that voices Niko Bellic in GTA 4. Michael Hollick joined us on the show. Michael, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Very excited to have you, dude. First of all, were you a fan of this franchise before you got involved? Did they tell you how big this was going to be?
Not really.
Really?
I didn't even know when I first auditioned for this. I didn't even know this is what I was auditioning for.
What
They said it was a game called Frozen.
Oh, so they didn't even tell you what it was for?
No, not even. I didn't know what it was until I had been working on it for about 2 weeks.
Well, so
That is nuts.
Michael, take us through the process if you don't mind. Obviously, GTA 4, if not the biggest title, one of the biggest titles ever released in video gaming or just even that platform, period. Take us through the process of you have an agent. The agent calls you, says, okay, there's a casting for this. Is it a video game casting or is it a casting for just, do you think it's a movie role, a TV role? What do you think it is?
No, I knew it was an interactive video game. They said the title was Frozen. I forget what the character name was, but it wasn't Niko either.
Man.
So I went into the audition, and the director, Rod Edge, was there, and I had one audition. And he took me through the paces. I read a couple of scenes. He had me jump around a lot, do a lot of physical activity, because originally I was auditioning just for the motion capture animation.
Okay.
And I didn't hear back for like 2 months, so I wrote it off. And usually in anything, you audition for, you get a couple of callbacks. They want to see you more than once. And then one day I just got a call from my agent saying they want you to do this video game. And they might be interested in you for the voiceover as well.
Good.
And I was really excited, and then we got together and did a couple of rehearsals. And they signed me to a confidentiality agreement, but still, even after that, they didn't tell me much about the game. It wasn't until a couple of weeks in when they had to, when we actually are recording the scenes and doing the work, that I got to say the real character name, and even then, I was not given the voiceover job until we started doing the motion capture, playing the scenes out. And I think they really started to like what I was doing with the character. And I'm a trained actor. I did the conservatory training when I was growing up, and so I have a lot of dialect training as well. So eventually they offered me to do the voiceover as well, which was excellent.
Are you a gay dude, man, or are you straight?
No, dude, I'm straight.
You're straight.
married.
Okay. Here's the problem. You're straight and married. Do you know how many dudes want to bang you now? Because the problem is that we were all sitting around, and I don't say, and I mean, I'm not saying that like in a weird way.
As in dudes, the guy that's talking to you right now.
I'm a straight guy too, man. No offense, but I want to bang you because, to be honest with you, I play the game, and it's like the characters are so cool, and like the voice, it's so distinctive. And when I pick up my phone, I go, Blake, I go, cousin, do you want to go play? And I literally, I'm high-fiving myself. And then our producer, I was like, look, dude, if you can get the guy that does the voice of Niko Bellic on the show, it's going to be amazing. We've had huge people on the show before.
A-list celebrities.
We were all in the back room doing high fives with each other because we were getting you on the show. Is any of that stuff? I mean, the game's only been out a week, but are people that know that you did that and are into it? Are you getting like harassed or anything?
I'm getting pretty crashed, actually. And what's crazy is some schmuck listed incorrectly the actor on IMDb.
Really?
Yeah, some guy, Bruce Cronenberg, who actually seems like a classy guy. It was all on the message boards. Bruce Cronenberg, the voice of Niko, yada, yada, yada. No, he's not. I think it's some guy, Michael Hollick. Check out his MySpace page. There was a lot of back and forth, and Bruce actually
How did that happen? How did that happen, Michael? How did that
I
happen?
have no idea. Anybody can post information on IMDb.
Oh, I didn't know
You
that.
just upload, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, Rockstar has fixed that. It should be listed correctly by Monday. But the point of the story is they still found me.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting crazy hits on my MySpace page, and and some man crushes, some girl crushes.
Girl crushes
really
probably,
run.
yeah. You probably enjoy those more, I'm guessing.
Michael.
My wife not so much, but
Well, you don't show her. That's what you do. You just say, "Oh, that's just a fan." Michael, tell us about how you transitioned from doing the motion capture.
Takes his bowling. Either he takes his wife either bowling or dart throwing or to a cabaret. Honestly.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I just completely am excited.
You know what the funniest story about the motion capture is I did every day of the motion capture over the course of 2 years, except for one.
What?
There was one I was unavailable to do, and it was the day that they were doing the lap dances.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
Honest to
Dude.
God. And they brought in like 6 pros. I had them all up in the motion capture suits,
Oh my God.
from what I hear. Yeah.
Is that wait a minute? Are you just giving us the line that you give your wife?
Yeah.
It sounds like we're being
Yeah.
fibbed to right now.
I wish.
Well, why couldn't you do that one day? Was a child being born? Because I don't know any other reason why not to go in for that day of work.
This whole time that I was working on this, I was doing, Tarzan, the Phil Collins show on Broadway.
Yes.
I was doing that as well at the same time. So I was really juggling a lot of stuff, and there were a couple of times when push came to shove, and I was not able to. And that was actually the only time over the course of 2 years. So pretty remarkable from that standpoint. But it was just one day that I could not get off.
Michael,
I didn't know that that's what they were doing.
Well, I mean,
But,
I'm sure that could work out in your favor in the long run because maybe somebody will feel bad for you and work that out, knowing that you're the voice of Niko Bellic. Can you tell us how do you because obviously you sound your voice alone is very, very cool right now, and you could have just done the character. How did they realize that you could do dialects and transfer into that?
Well, I mean, when I auditioned for the scene, when we play the cut scenes, even when they were looking for me for the motion capture, I had to say the lines, and I'm an actor, and so when they asked for a Serbian dialect, I did my homework and I did, and I figured it out, I worked it out, and I think, as we were playing the scenes, I mean, and I'll say, for the future of interactive video games and everything, I harken back to Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
When they had that cat do the voiceover, originally he wasn't supposed to do the voice and everything as well. He was doing motion capture. They actually weren't even going to keep his motion capture. They were going to do complete CGI. They just needed a stand-in with the physical actors so they knew where to look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he did such a bang-up job that they kept him in. And I think what makes this game sets it apart is the human element, and the human element is when you got the same guy making the movements, doing the voiceover, and I think that gives it a little humanity. It makes people care a little bit, honestly.
Now, let me ask,
Story.
Michael, I got so many questions for you. And Michael Hollick is the voice of Niko Bellic in GTA 4, our favorite game of all time, the biggest video game of all time. Did you interact with the other people doing the voices? Because what they've done a remarkable job in this game for that anybody that picks it up is the characters are very deep. It's very much like a movie or a television series the way it unfolds. And you meet characters that you care about. Like Niko's interactions with like little Jacob and with Brucey is priceless. Did you just read the lines or did you get a chance to interact with these guys that you were doing these scenes with?
Yeah, we definitely got a chance to interact. Like we would do the motion capture first, and in the motion capture, you play the scenes from beginning to end, and essentially the camera is all around you. Like after the scene is played and the scene is recorded, the director can move the camera anywhere to underneath you, under the floor, to above on the ceiling, a 360 angle, and after they record the motion capture. Then weeks, sometimes months later, you get into the studio. So when you're in the studio, you're not interacting with anybody, and it's a bear too because they're doing facial motion capture animation, so they've got a camera on you in the booth.
Oh wow!
That you can't move a half inch, you're out of the frame, and you got to start over. So you got to keep your head terribly still. You got to keep still because you also can't be wandering from the mic. You guys know that.
Yeah.
And then you've got your script because you're not going to remember all these lines.
No.
and then you've got a screen that shows the motion capture animation, the scene, the way that the director has cut it.
Wow.
And there's just basically there's no detail on the characters. It's just like I'm the green guy and now I'm talking to the blue guy,
Okay.
but you can see the motions.
Wow.
And you gotta keep your eye on the script, on the screen with the motion capture, but at the same time you have to stare straight ahead into the camera that's got you for the facial, because if you start to look down too much at the script or at the screen with the motion capture, then it breaks the facial animation.
And that's hard.
So you're juggling a lot.
How long was the script, man? There's so much dialogue, and the game is so deep.
Was it 2 years? 2 years for the motion capture. Was it 2 years for the within those 2 years that you did all the script?
Yeah. Basically about just under 2 years, probably I guess about a year and 8 months. But it was all like we would do the script in chunks. Like they would give you a chunk of the script, you do the motion capture, and then you do the voiceover, and then you'd start again. And we probably had about 5-6 sessions. About each section of script was anywhere from 100 to, some cases I feel like 200 pages.
That's insane, man.
Chunk after chunk. But then that's just the cut scenes. So once the cut scenes are done, then the largest chunk is in-game stuff, and the hardest stuff is in-game stuff.
Dude, when Niko is driving, and there's a mission that I'm playing, and this is getting geeky, but there's a mission where you're in the car, I think it's with Playboy, and you're following somebody, and he goes, he says, you're supposed to stay 3 car lengths behind the woman you're harassing, correct? And I literally, I throw my knee up in the air, and I'm slapping it by myself in my house, but there are so many of those just little toss-ins. Like, that must have just – because there must be thousands of them that you had to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the worst ones, you would come in, in the morning, and you get 50 pages of screaming.
Oh my God.
And these ones you're getting shot, and these ones you're shooting someone, and these ones you're jumping off a building, and these ones you're being burned alive.
Because there's a different scream. When you, get lit on fire, there's a different scream than if you take your motorcycle, which I like to do, hit an embankment and launch Niko into the ocean. It's a completely different scream than if you're, shooting at somebody.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we did that. We did Niko falling off a motorcycle into the ocean, drowning. You're drowning now.
It was there at all times,
That's
and
awesome.
obviously you got a script there, Michael, and you're working off of it. And I can't imagine actually trying to stay still for the motion capture camera and watching reading the script and watching the screen. So the way it came out, congratulations. Is there a time that you get to just put in your own 2 cents at all, just a little ad lib, or is it just total script?
No. That's the other thing I got to say about them, and it wouldn't have been successful that way, honestly. The director Rod Edge was fantastic, the writer fantastic, and because the script was done in chunks, when the character started off, I could kind of sense there was some humor in him. But obviously he's right off the boat, and he's more naive at the beginning. He's just kind of getting caught up to speed. But, I did a couple reads where I kind of found, this dry kind of thing with him, this dry sense of humor. And the writer totally fed off that. And, he'd start giving me more of these zingers. And then a couple of times I would, find a line that, could have been done straight. And I was like, nah. The character just developed like that. It was a lot of give and take in the studio and in the motion capture studio. They were very open to that, to their credit, and thankfully, I think it helped them make the character more alive.
Michael, were you a gamer before this? Did you play video games?
You know what? I have to admit, I was not.
Okay, and
I was not.
That's fine. The next question is it's good, because are you amazed at how far that if you weren't exposed to games? Can you believe everything that went into this and how in-depth it is and how much they put into not just, blowing stuff up, but the plot lines?
It's more work than a major motion picture.
Sympathy, and then you get sympathy for this character, and they build an anti-hero, and it's just, it's unbelievable where the guy, for instance, I just blew away some chick. You have the option whether or not you want to kill some chick. You're like, oh, Niko's a bad dude. But then, you feel good for him, you feel bad for him. What was it like not being a gamer, seeing this production, seeing how much they put into it, and seeing how, far the genre has come?
It was honestly, it was thrilling and it was fascinating. You know, I had a lot of friends who were gamers. I had a lot of friends who were gamers, and like I said, I had just a casual kind of acquaintance with the whole culture.
Yeah.
But I'm into it now. I assure you. But it's hysterical because I'm the last guy who should be playing Niko, because I'm a klutz with the controller, and he's all over the map, and he's dead in like 20 seconds. Like really, it's like anything but adept. But yeah, no, I was thrilled, and the whole experience was fascinating. And I knew enough about video games to know that this was different off the bat. As soon as I started getting the cutscenes, and I was like, wow, that's a good scene.
Yeah,
like that's a well written scene, and people are going to be into this. I think there was definitely a great sense as we were making it that we were doing something special, and that you never know how it's going to be received. Yeah. You never know. I mean, there's anticipation for the game, but almost because of that, it's being held to a different standard, and I was almost more ready for backlash than anything else, and that's been furthest from the truth. I'll tell you, it's been so overwhelmingly positive. I'm honored to be a part of it. Honestly, honestly.
Do you ever get in character now that you're basically a worldwide superstar when it comes to this game? Do you ever get in character with your wife and be like, "I'm Niko, make me some dinner"?
I'll tell you, man. Before the game ever came out, I would come home and yeah, I had requests. We had some interesting. There was some interesting role playing. My wife she's actually a character in the game.
Who?
She plays a ped. I'm not sure. I have to find her. I still have to find her.
Really?
They brought her in to record a ped once. Yeah.
It's funny because if Michael goes home and he hasn't changed his clothes and is driving a new car, then his wife won't bang him.
Really?
Just like on the dates with Michelle. Hey, Michael, a couple things. One, what did they do to keep you from? Obviously, they gave you a fake name, but once you knew what you were working on, and there's so much buzz because we had a couple guys come in here with the system, and they wouldn't let us take pictures of the game. They wouldn't let us do anything like a day before. What did they do to keep you from leaking? Like, what kind of agreements did you have to sign? Like while you're making the game?
Yeah, well, it was crazy because they told me they were taking me on a vacation. It was really weird, and they put me in a plane, and the next thing I knew, I was at Abu Ghraib. They were like, "You see this?"
I don't believe you.
Honestly, it was confidentiality agreements, and they're very cool, and they made no look, castration is an option.
How much coke does Laszlo do, by the way? Because we had Laszlo in here, and I swear to God, he must have done 5 rails of coke.
I wouldn't know about that.
That guy's a machine. Michael, is it true that you have local ties here in the D.C. area?
Yeah. My sister's family is out there. Yeah, absolutely.
When are you going to come in studio, buddy?
Yeah, that's what we got to work out.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, it certainly is.
I'm sure I'll be out this summer. I definitely have to get down and
perfect,
see
man.
my niece and nephew and everybody. So.
Well, they're releasing the downloadable content in November, so we can have you on the preview that.
Brilliant.
Hey, are you allowed to do? Because we had the dude that did Optimus Prime's voice, Peter Cullen, in the Transformers movie with the cartoons, and he had like certain things he wasn't allowed to do because it was like copyright of whatever. Are you allowed to be like, do stuff like if someone wants to pay you $500 to do their answering machine or something? Are you allowed to be Niko Bellic like by yourself?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know. Jay, honestly, I've been telling I called Rockstar and I'm like, I'm just doing some interviews and and they're like, oh great, cool, no problem. I was like, well, okay. And my buddy actually said, you know what we should do? We should do a Niko Bellic Christmas album.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
That would be amazing.
I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant.
Dude, well, there's been no time like that.
Yeah, why not, Chad?
Is there any chance you'd be willing to maybe drop this is Niko Bellic when I'm driving around Liberty City, I listen to the Big O and Duke show? Is that possible?
This is Niko Bellic. I'm driving in Liberty City. I'm listening to the Dukes and the Big O show.
Because that's how he would. That's how he would say it.
Absolutely.
He's from Serbia. That's amazing, dude. Do you understand? Look, dude. I don't want to. This is going to make you uncomfortable, and I'm sorry because you're a good dude. My balls just tingled. I'm just gonna say that right now because that was amazing. Because you talk to the dude. He's a cool dude, but he goes into the voice. I get excited.
Michael, seriously, when you get in town, and we'll keep.
Is that gross, Oscar?
You know, I know what you're doing in there. I just keep your hands away from your crotch. You'll be fine.
Everybody calm down. Everybody settle down.
Michael, when you get in town, we'll send a car for you, and literally we are like 5 minutes out of DC, and we'll get you there and back as easy as it can be, and we'd love to have you in studio.
Brilliant, guys. I look forward to it.
Hey, man, you're a cool dude, man. Congratulations, and you're part of the biggest game of all time. It's got to be very thrilling for you.
Quickly, are you still on Broadway if people want to see you?
I'm off Broadway right now. This show called Forza Bruta that is intense.
What is it?
It's amazing. It's an aerial show. I literally run through walls on this big treadmill. And
is that up on your MySpace? Because I think I saw pictures of that.
Yeah.
That's intense, dude.
It's pretty intense, and it's an amazing show. It's playing at Union Square at the Darryl Roth Theater off Broadway in New York City. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's from the same people that made De La Guarda from Argentina.
Okay.
I did that show as well for a number of years.
Look at you.
Man.
Yeah, keeps you in shape, man.
If you ever
stuff.
If you ever want to stop being a real actor, though, you can go around to nerd conventions for the rest of your life now, signing autographs. You know that, right?
Hey, dude, it's top of my list.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go to all of them, and there'll be a line around the block of guys with their fingers in their noses that all want to get your autograph.
There's like 3 guys right now that want to have a nerd convention right now.
There's 3 of them right here.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Mike. We really do appreciate it, man. Continued success, buddy.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right, take
You
care.
too. Take it easy.
Appreciate it.
He didn't even care that I was like trying to bang him the whole time.
No.
What a cool dude.
Yeah, and you know what? Usually it gets really awkward when you start doing that and telling them about what's tingling and what's not.
Yeah.
But 2 thumbs up, bro.
This is Niko Bellic. I was like, oh. He's gonna freak out. What I wanted to do, Drab, here's what I'd like to do. Play the game for another week. See if he'll come back on. And this is hack like no other, but I think it would be a good bit.
Okay.
We have people call in with their favorite lines that Niko does, and he just does them on the show.
No, I don't know if we could do that. That's really hacky.
What's wrong with that?
You know, that's a little hacky.
He has great lines in the movie,
does,
though. I mean, the game.
Why don't we wait till he comes in studio, then we can take calls? Because he'll come in studio.
Come on. Don't you think that'd be fun for people?
I mean, it'd be fun for you.
You think it would just be fun for me, Draft?
Yeah.
That's when we ruin a relationship.
You think you'd piss him off? Is that what you're saying?
Because what if you were that guy and then you get a call the next week?
He seemed cool, didn't
You're
he?
not busy.
Didn't
Dance for us.
Dance, monkey. Dance, Derek. Like a Zoolander. They're throwing bananas at him.
Yes.
Wow. I'm just excited.
We are too.
I'm excited that he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
That's
and
also important.
we need that rejoiner.
Yeah,
ASAP.
Drab, can you please not botch that one? How many rejoiners, by the way, has Drab screwed up?
I don't watch any of those.
No, he hasn't. We just haven't had him in the system.
Where are they?
That's all we want to hear him.
What are you talking about?
All of the rejoiners that we've had people do for us, where are they?
A lot of times they're botched up.
Who?
You know, like the Danny Trejo
Putty one wasn't effed up. Where's Putty? Jackie Childs wasn't effed up.
No.
Where's that one? Yeah.
I'll figure them out.
Where are they? Because they're there. He did them.
Jesus.
All right, here's what you're going to do. On Monday, you're going to have them all. Okay? At least those 3. Because I know we have those 3. What happened to the Optimus Prime one? That one's gone. I know we had that one.
We have that.
Where is it?
You said you didn't want to hear it anymore.
Where is it?
Well, we can bring it back.
We got it.
Don't blame me because you don't do your job. We rescued you from the river after the show last night.
Would you guys be excited for Dennis Quaid?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to have Dennis Quaid on the show.
Maybe.
Let's go out on a limb.
Maybe in 2 weeks.
I think I got Karan Butler coming on the
Yeah?
show. Yeah.
Strong.
Drab, is there anything else you'd like for us to do for you? Can we book any more guests for you?
No, that's great if you got connections.
Jesus.
No, that was good. That guy was awesome. So that was Michael Hollick. He's the voice of Niko Bellic in GTA 4. If you don't have it, I don't know what. This isn't the show for you if you're not playing GTA. I got to be honest with you.
Also,
Go listen to the Hot Morning Mess.
We've got Jorman pulling the audio from the ABC piece for the 4 things parents should know.
God damn it!
I haven't heard it
You're
yet.
going to get me all riled up.
But we should talk about that later.
Oh, yeah. We got Snacks at the Roundtable coming up at Un.
Las
1
una.
o'clock,
Un?
yeah.
Is that
Las
right?
una.
Oscar? Is it Un, right?
Una.
Una?
Una.
Aola. Can you please have the Niko maybe today? Can we have it today before the end of the show?
We can
Why
probably
don't you?
get it very
Why don't
quickly.
you take us out as Niko Bellic?
This is Niko Bellic. The rap T-shirt should be at the bottom of Davy Jones' locker. It's Big on Dukes on JFK.
106.7 WJFK. It's Big O and Dukes.